Canada to the capital. Here tonight, the reverse meeting of a game in St. Catharines a few days ago. Canada comfortable winners on home court. Nicaragua will hope to make it a little more uncomfortable for their guests here in front of this passionate home crowd. This is the first matchup of game day 2 in Group C, with Mexico looking for their payback on Dominican Republic slightly later on in Mexico City. Looking at the group, Nicaragua already guaranteed an AmeriCup ticket as hosts. So after the full 6-game campaign, the next best 2 teams from the other 3 will also go to the main event next summer. Mexico currently missing out as it stands. Still a long way to go though, but a loss for them tonight and a win for Canada here would put Mexico 2 wins behind with 4 games remaining. Canada being introduced first. Most of these players played in World Cup qualifying, but only 3 were on the roster that won bronze at last year's World Cup. All of the minor role players on that team, Phil Scrubb, Kyle Alexander and Trebal Haynes, each averaging only 6 or 7 minutes at the World Cup last year. Lots of players playing for places on the roster, if indeed they do go to the AmeriCup next year. Nicaragua all pumped up for this big occasion. The 73rd ranked nation in the world. They've never played at a major tournament. Look what it means to play here on home court, where they will welcome some of the continent's very best next year. It's a young roster as well. They're certainly looking towards the future. 8 of the 12 players aged 24 or below. For the main event next summer, they do have the potential to add their top young prospect, power forward Nurchad Omir, to the team, currently starring for the Miami Hurricanes in the NCAA Division I. Not available for this qualifying window. They can blood these young talents without pressure, knowing their place is secure at next year's big event. It will take place in this arena, which can host crowds of 8 to 8,500. David Rosario is their Puerto Rican head coach. He's made a positive impression on the bench in Nicaragua's successful pre-qualifying campaign to get here. Now we're ready for the national anthems of the 2 teams. An emotional moment at an exciting time for this city and this country. Nicaragua's first home game in qualifying, which is just a bit of a warm-up because they know they will compete on the grand stage for the very first time in this arena next year. They were dominated from start to finish in St. Catharines on Friday against the same opponents as tonight. Canada pounding them with better shooting percentages inside and out. Also grabbed an ominous 23 offensive rebounds to Nicaragua's 9. The Canadians dished 30 assists, forced 27 turnovers on their guests, winning every single department. 25-3 in points from turnovers, 19-2 on the fast break, 16-7 on second chance opportunities, 36-13 in bench points. Canada leading ever since the first score after 15 seconds and finished with a game-high 45-point margin, winning it 96-51. We see their starting five first. Aaron Best led the way in that first game with 21 points, was 5 of 9 from downtown. Trey Bell-Haynes had 8 assists without a single turnover. 9 rebounds in 14 minutes for Qualifiers. They're led by Nate Bjorkgren, an American from Iowa, but 2 recent stints as an assistant north of the border with the Toronto Raptors, where he won the 2019 NBA championship. Take a check on the Nicaragua team in just a moment, as well as they go through their final warm-ups. Until now, their biggest ever achievement, a silver medal at the Central American Games in 2017, losing to Panama in the final. Now the only time they've placed on the podium, even at the more regional tournaments, the Centro Basket and the Central American Games. Their top players in the first game. 14 points for Frank Gart on 4 of 6 shooting, but also 5 turnovers. 12 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds for Yared Ruiz, but also 6 turnovers, and he was only 1 of 8 from 3-point range. Despite being automatically qualified as hosts of next year's AmeriCup, Nicaragua still went through the pre-qualifiers to get here because they weren't announced as hosts until a couple of months ago. In pre-qualifying, they beat a couple of solid Caribbean squads in Cuba, who beat the USA earlier today, and Virgin Islands. Now it gets significantly harder as Nicaragua test themselves in a tough group here, albeit without the pressure of needing to win. Canada at continental level have achieved 2 silvers, 4 bronzes at the AmeriCup. Never stood at the top of the podium. They are very much on the up right now. Bronze medalists at the World Cup. They'll play at the Olympics for the first time since Sydney 2000 this year. And they failed to qualify for any of the previous 5 Olympic Games. The very best players from both North and South America will gather under this roof next year for the 20th edition of the AmeriCup. It will be the first ever major tournament Nicaragua will play in their history. Tonight, an appetizer for these fans as they welcome the 6th highest ranked nation in the world, Canada. Canada start with the ball. And the aim for Nicaragua will be to keep it closer for longer than they did in St. Catharines in the first game, and that's a start. The turnover on Canada with their first possession. It's Romario Ponce wearing the number 77 jersey. He's a player that's come in for Nicaragua since that first game. He gets the start here. Aaron Best. Playing in Poland after a year in the Euro Cup with the London Lions last season. Outside shot, off right, far side. So 2 failed trips down the floor for Canada. Off the back of the backboard. Not quite getting his angles right. On that occasion, Fran Gart, who led them in scoring with 14 efficient points in 20 minutes in the first game. On the right rail, heavy pass though from Jackson Rowe. Make it 3 failed trips down the floor for Canada. And the score to celebrate. Nicaragua take the lead. Didn't lead at any point in the first game. They've already achieved something here on home court tonight they couldn't in St. Catharines. Mid-ranger off front time. Another miss for Canada. One-on-one in the open floor. The skip. Not the score though with the heavy finish. And they've had opportunities. Getting out in transition off the back of Canada misses. Almost 2 minutes without a score for Canada to start after they poured in the points in the reverse meeting a few days ago. That's better ball movement and the flyby. Step in, further pass, one more. Pull of the trigger on the perimeter. Still nothing though for Trey Balhames. Had a good year in the Euro Cup last season with Baruchni's Trey Balhames. 28-year-old point guard, 11.6 points, 5.2 assists. Did shoot 32% on the outside. He's now playing in Spain with Zaragoza in the ACB. Nicaragua looking to double their advantage perhaps here. Shot clock down to 2. Too long on the 2, out of bounds though, off Canada. Andy Perez, who played 18 minutes at centre in the first game, had 4 points on 2 of 3 shooting, 3 rebounds, 1 block shot. Almost got the ball back, and he saved it on the baseline. He can, but only turns it over. Heads hanging rather than getting back with transition defense. Maybe that's because they knew their teammate had their backs. Dalton Cacho. The Dalton denial. The blockbuster block on Nicaragua's big night. Near 3-minute drought for Canada now. They turn it over again. Sequence of turnovers. Stop and pop. Triple is good, and Nicaragua lead by 5. Yared Ruiz, who was only 1 of 8 from downtown in the reverse meeting. Well, Canada now 0 of 4 from the field and 3 turnovers in the first 3 and a bit minutes. And that was Nicaragua's first triple attempted in the game. And they knock it down, having only gone 6 of 23 in Canada, but cancelling it out. Jackson Rowe. Canada finally on the board. Rowe, who was 4 of 9 from downtown in that first meeting, had 14 points, and then Nicaragua turn it over. In fact, that Jackson Rowe bucket has gone down as a 2, toes on the line. Nicaragua's 4th turnover already. Canada 3, so both teams struggling to protect the ball in the opening minutes. Ponce fakes the pass, goes inside, banks it in. He's injected life to Nicaragua. Speaking of life, how about the leap from Aaron Best? Free and behind to rock the red. Again, you look at Nicaragua trying to get back. They're too slow with their transition defense. I mentioned that just a minute ago. Contested 3-4 short. Rebound well telegraphed, but not well held onto by Andy Perez. Perez, 24 years of age, pretty experienced player in terms of this squad. It's only 4 players who are older than 24. Three-pointer blocked this time. Jackson Rose suffocated in the corner. A couple of blocks for Nicaragua. And a block back by Thomas Kennedy, Canada's young player. At 23, he's the youngest on their roster. Having a good season in Germany. There's the block in the corner on the 3-point shooter. And Thomas Kennedy on the cover at the other end. And a 3 good far side for Nicaragua, a couple already. Yared Ruiz already more triples tonight than he had in the whole of the first game. Nicaragua by 6, midway point of the first. Balhaines to answer back, no. And pass down the floor, perfect trajectory. And Cacho with a nice catch this time. He'll go to the line. Nicaragua 2 of 3. From downtown now, having gone 6 of 23, the first game for 26%. Just across the midway point of the first period, they lead by 6. At the timeout, 10-4. You hear Nate Bjorkgren, that is enough of that. They knew they would have to face some difficult, different tests on the road here in Nicaragua. They knew the home team would be all pumped up in front of their home fans. They've allowed them to build a bit of momentum. Remember, Canada had the first score in St. Catharines after 15 seconds. And never look back. It's a different story unfolding already. We're at the venue of next year's AmeriCup. Nicaragua will still know they need each and every point they can get, and they don't want to miss free throws, as Dalton Cacho does miss both. Remains a 2-possession game. Canada on a really tough start on the offensive end, though. They've taken more 3-point attempts than 2-point attempts. They're 0 of 5 on the outside. Here's Gray. Touch pass, open look, another three, another miss. Nicaragua doing an excellent job of protecting their backboard right now. That was another key part of the equation in the first game. Careless on the offensive end though. 3-on-2 transition opportunity. 3-point shot, locked and loaded. Gray knocks this one down and points an appreciation at his teammate for the pass, finding him in the open spot on the perimeter. That halves the deficit. Canada's first three on their 7th attempt. Oh, big block, Aaron Best. How about the guard getting up for the rim protection? And 2 in a row in transition. After missing their first 6 back-to-back triples, back level Canada at 10-10. Aaron Best doing it at both ends. The block, and then the blow to his opponents. That 6-point lead that Nicaragua worked hard for has evaporated. So too is the majority of the shot clock for them on this offense. 5 to shoot. Ismael Martinez has just come in for them. Jared Ruiz. Open shooter near side, whistle on the play. And shot clock violation. So 6 points without reply for Canada. Paul Haynes. Best onto the corner. That defense. Missed 3. Jamie Keane with a good defense on the ball handler. So too Gray as well. Ball was kicked, turnover. And that's a big problem that Nicaragua seem to have not put right from their performance on game day 1. 7 turnovers already here. Almost 1 a minute. Canada had 3 turnovers the first 3 minutes, haven't had a single one since. And Kennedy to the basket and 1. So an 8-point unanswered run for Canada to come from 6 down to lead. And now a chance to extend the advantage. Played his first 2 professional years in the Canadian Second League, Thomas Kennedy. He's moved to Germany this season. He's averaging 10.5 points, 5.7 rebounds in 22 minutes with Bonn. He's shooting 70% from the field. Canada by 3 off his 3-point play. 3 straight 3-point scores in a row for Canada without reply. Oh, nice pass in transition as well, and they're not messing around anymore. Off the back of the timeout, the run continues for Canada. And it's 9 points without reply. In fact, make it 11 without reply. After that basket, timeout Nicaragua now called by David Rosario.
Ya baja la intensidad, llevamos 6 posesiones que nos anotamos y ya dejamos de defender, de correr para atrás. Frank, aquí no vas a ayudar porque el strong side shooter se queda Jare y tú. Él cometió el error, le da de la derecha y no le dio para adelante. No hagas behind the back con el tipo encima de ti. Aquí en la ruta, donde llegaste aquí. No me des la bola acá porque la cortina alta no funciona ahí. 4 arriba. Sí, oí. Box, flare, cortina abajo. Ok, jugador esas 2.
They led 10-4, 5 minutes in. Then we heard Nate Bjorkgren in the Canadian timeout saying that is enough. His team have retaliated with an unanswered run of 11 points. They've cut out the turnovers. They're playing tough defense. A couple of blocked shots. They've started to knock down their threes. Foul on Trebal Haynes. It's only their second. That's another problem for Nicaragua. It's a problem for Trebal Haynes because it's his personal second. The only player on the Canadian team to commit a foul. Nicaragua have already committed 4 fouls. Their next defensive foul in this period would send Canada to the line. Ruiz. Out back to Ruiz. Chance to make it a 1-possession game. 5 on the shot clock. Left-hander no good. Grabs his own rebound. Puts it back up again. Heavy off the window from Yosmala Martinez. Kajami Keane. Pulls up for the 3 and he knocks it down. Would you believe it? After missing their first 6, they've now knocked down 3 of their last 4. And they had a 3-point play the old-fashioned way in that run as well. Laser beam pass in transition. Jackson Rowe fouled. And Canada could blow this open. The way they're playing right now, a chance to make it a double-digit lead. Kajami Keane making a difference. Played 3.5 minutes, and since coming on, in got 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 points. He's actually got the highest plus-minus of all players in the game so far in just 3.5 minutes on court. Canada plus 15. Jackson Rowe at the line. No wonder he's applauding. His team have answered the call. The lead, and the unanswered run is now at 16 straight points. Cacho. Mid-ranger good to stop the rot. Having conceded the previous 16 in a row. Andy Perez knocks it down. First score for him. The margin, 40 to play in the first period. Down the right, a foul and a basket. And a chance for another 3-point play. And a chance for Jackson Rowe to move to 9 points in the quarter. That's exactly what he does. 9 points in 6.5 minutes. Ruiz started superbly with 2 threes. Helping Nicaragua build that 6-point lead, and there's another. Jared Ruiz back in business from downtown, where he's now 3 of 3. Again, having gone just 1 of 8 in the first game. No wonder he took 8 attempts. Just wasn't happening for him in St. Catharines. Offensive rebound. That is a backbreaker as Lloyd Pandy falls down to his back with the stick back. The very first offensive rebound of the game for Canada. Nicaragua had been protecting their backboard so well. They've been given up 23 offensive rebounds in the first game. The backbreaker coming at the buzzer, giving Canada a double-digit lead at the end of one. Look at the two-point shooting disparity, a gaping chasm in those numbers. Nicaragua's three-point shooting, more specifically the three-point shooting of Yared Ruiz, keeping them at least competitive. Nicaragua 3 of 4 on the outside, Ruiz with all of them. They're only 3 of 14 on the inside. They started really well for the AmeriCup hosts. On defense and on offense. Big block from Cacho. On attack, Ponce, new to the roster for this first home game. 4 points for him on 2 of 4 shooting. And then coming to the starting lineup. A couple of threes for Ruiz. And a 6-point lead at the midway point of the period. 10-4. Then came the timeout. Nate Bjorkgren got stuck into his team. And he retaliated with a 16-point unanswered run and completely turned the tide. Catch that QR code if you can. If not, find the Courtside 1891 app in the relevant app store for all the streams, schedules and scores. Still a few more games to be concluded in this first qualifying window for next year's Continental Cups. Nicaragua hoping to add their name to a pretty long list of nations to cause big upsets in this first window. Right across the globe, Cuba beating the USA. They were in AmeriCup qualifying earlier on, Chile downing Argentina. In Europe, Bulgaria beating world champions Germany, Belgium beating Spain. And in Asia, Japan beating China for the first time in 88 years at a major competition. There's still hope for Nicaragua. They've got a chance to make this a single-digit margin with Ponce fouled on the shot. Foul on Khalif Young. Nicaragua only making 1 of their 4 free throw attempts so far. Kajami Keane moves it on. Interior pass threatened. Instead, the points just picked up by Jackson Rowe, doing his thing again. That's 11 points in 7.5 minutes for Rowe. And that ties his, or rather gets near to his tally from the first game. And the majority of his points came on the perimeter. Today, the majority, in fact all of them, have come on the interior, including from the foul line. Canada have still only committed those 3 turnovers, Nicaragua 8. The 3 Canadian turnovers coming in the first 3 minutes. Good pass down the floor, Ruiz. And battling his way to the basket in a pack of players, Jensen Campbell. His first score, showing no fear coming in. He's only played 2.5 minutes of the game. There's the foul away from the ball. Oh, big attack. Didn't want to try and throw it down though. Kennedy couldn't get enough on the finger roll. So a chance to close this gap. And Nicaragua seemingly having weathered the Canadian storm for now. Looked like Canada were going to pull away and not look back again. Nicaragua put the brakes on the Canadian offense. Just still struggling to open the floodgates of theirs. Ponce. Ruiz. Shot clock down to 4 here. Ruiz, tight defense best, and a foul. There'll be 3 on Canada in the first 2 minutes. 2 on Best, he joins Balhaines on 2. But 3 for the team in the first 2 minutes of this second period. Only 1 more to give all the way until halftime now. Be happy with the improvement from his team. Got to keep it up though, got to be consistent to stand a chance. Ruiz got to hit those threes. And that was about as tough as they come. And Canada will love to punish in transition. Nicaragua getting back well on that occasion, which is something they didn't do in the first quarter at times. Transition defense so important off those misses. And they do like to try and crash the boards. They've got 6 offensive rebounds already, Nicaragua. And when you don't get the rebounds, you're at the mercy of your opponent. One to shoot, put up off one leg. Rebound secure. Still only the 1 offensive rebound for Canada, which came right at the buzzer at the end of the first. Gart over everything. Rebound Jackson Rowe. And there they go, looking to run again. Best out to the corner, full scrub. It's had an under-the-radar performance so far, despite playing all of the game. Aaron Best turns it over. Canada have only scored 2 points the first 3 minutes of this period. After 25 in the first quarter, they did start the first slow and then picked up the pace. It's a similar story, they will hope, here in the second. And in the deficit, Ponce. Creating many good looks at the basket, but if you can't create, at least have somebody who will go aggressively towards it. It always offers the opportunity to draw a foul. And Mario Ponce does just that. That's 4 on Canada already. So for the rest of this half, they're going to have to rally together, because different questions are being asked, and any further fouls from the Canadian defense until the main break will result in free throws for Nicaragua. Ponce split his previous two, but he'll make them both this time. And the deficit has been closed down to 7 points after Canada had gone up by 11. Open three, nothing but net. Sweet string music to the ears of the Canadian bench. 14 points for Jackson Rowe already. That ties his tally from the first game. I mentioned he was 4 of 9 on the perimeter in the first game. All of his points before that basket tonight had come on the interior or from the foul line. He's 4 of 4 from 2, 1 of 4 from 3, 3 of 3 from the stripe. 14 points, 4 rebounds in less than 11 minutes played. Canada by 10, now a chance for the out-and-out largest lead. It's scrubbed from the corner, batted away and into the hands of Campbell. Ponce. Campbell on the trail, dances through the defense. How about the moves from Jensen Campbell? It's a couple of baskets since coming in for him. Didn't score in the first game. Rebound Cacho as well. Campbell setting the screen this time for Ponce. Cacho wants it, gets it, up against Kennedy. He's a good defender, we've seen that already. And forces the miss. Midway point of the period coming. And Scrubb, underarm, scoop and score good for Phil Scrubb. Our best player in efficiency on game day 1 in 23 minutes of 13 points, 8 assists, 0 turnovers, 3 rebounds and a steal. Midway point of the second. 10-0 advantage for Canada. They're holding Nicaragua at arm's length so far. Both teams will talk it through in the timeout.
Hemos dado 3 veces consecutivas el ball swing hacia la derecha, coño. A la izquierda no nos han hecho daño nunca, pero no podemos dar este ataque porque ponen un tirador para que este nos ayude. Este jugador tiene que estar más cerca. Cámbialo a la izquierda de inmediato, que son débiles para la izquierda. Llevan un canasto en toda la mitad de este lado, del lado izquierdo. Todos son del medio hacia acá. Cuando hay cortina, el grande vaya arrastra para que el gal llegue. Tienes que permitir que el pico coja la bola. Que los grandes tengan toque para que vayan al canasto. Tan pronto venga la cortina, cambiamos y le enviamos para acá y recuperamos. Acá, escucha. Dalton, Jomel, Jensen, Frank, doble aquí, va. Romario, intercambiamos, viene Jomel aquí. Fondo. Ok. Jugamos dos abajo.
You see those assist numbers in the timeout. Only 3 assists in the game for Nicaragua. 9 turnovers. But they've started to reduce the turnovers. They're finding an extra dimension with Jensen Campbell coming in. A couple of scores for him. That delightful dance right down Main Street for the score. Still they trail by 10. Campbell. Long range 2. Too long. Young the rebound. So despite Nicaragua's attempts at an improvement, a chance for Canada again to make it the out-and-out largest lead. 3-pointer off for Rowe. Frangart, 24-year-old small forward. Mario Ponce. Short on it that time was catch-up. They knocked down those 3 threes from Ruiz. But apart from that, they've been woeful from the field. Nice wraparound pass. Ball doesn't go up towards the rim with the player. How about upgrading to a 3? Phil Scrub knocking down from deep. That is the largest lead, and they're picking pockets and picking up pace. Kajami Keane then on the follow and one. Good for Young. Just like that, in a flash. Canada now potentially up by 16. Turnovers continuing to hurt the home team. Canada have been clinical off those changes in possession. Well, tie. Saved on the baseline by Catcher off that missed free throw. First, the charity strike missed in the game by Canada. They're now 4 of 5. 11th turnover of the game for Nicaragua. Another basket for Kajami Keane, who's really offered a spark since coming in. The pace before the Canadian defense can set. Look how frustrating it is that it doesn't go down. Now it's Canada's turn in transition. And this is getting away from the hosts. Jensen Campbell's 3rd foul. Grabbing a hold of Thomas Kennedy's jersey. He becomes the first player. 1 to 3 fouls for Nicaragua. Indeed the first for either team in the game. They've not made the most of the foul trouble of Canada early on. Canada were at the limit early in this period. We're at 4 fouls early in this period. They haven't committed one since. They're still leading the way with 14 points. 5 on the shot clock for Canada, up 17. 3-point shot. The balance on the sideline and the save from Andy Hodgson, the 21-year-old centre. Ruiz on the bounce, far side, needs some help on the perimeter, gets nothing. Now 3-on-2 transition opportunity, and they get a 3-on-3. Gray, through 2 players, and fouled on his route to the rim. And 12 points the first game, Cadre Gray. 26-year-old point guard playing in Poland this season. Averaged 19 minutes a game at the last AmeriCup. 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2.6 assists. They want to be back on the roster for next year if, as expected, Canada make it. Already before the end of the first half, they've got one hand on another win to try and go 2-0. They saved possession that time. Nicaragua still can't find anybody else to knock down a 3 for them. Fairly rare turnover from Canada keeps the deficit for Nicaragua in the teens at least. Ruiz blocked. Almost before it left his fingertips by Rowe. On the trail, three-point shot. Off the mark for Kajemi Keane. Foul taken by Gray. A chip to the line coming for Yared Ruiz. Ruiz is 3 of 4 from three-point range. 2 of them coming in the first 3 minutes, though. The rest of the team 0 of 5. On the interior, they've been horrible. 5 of 21 for 24%. This team are only ranked 73rd in the world. They're playing against the 6th best nation in the FIBA World Rankings here tonight and in this first window, home and away. They'll play both games here in the next window in November, when they host the other 2 teams in the group, Mexico and Dominican Republic. And they travel to those 2 nations in the final window this time next year. $17 the deficit, a minute and a half to play in the first half. Gray, shot clock to 5. Big attack, running into a big blue wall. The explosive attempt to get to the basket by Jackson Rowe. Having spent his first 3 professional years between the Canadian League and Europe, this season he's made a positive move to the G League with Santa Cruz. He's averaging 12.2 points, 5.7 rebounds, a steal and a block. Just as I'm about to say his impressive shooting splits, he misses a free throw. Shooting a 53, 43, 81 in the G League. And that's the second one. And now has 15 points for the half. Nice movement and passing between the 2. But not a good catch from Hodgson. Three-pointer doesn't go down for Scrub. And as we get set to enter the final minute, Nicaragua have possession. What a tough half on the offensive end it's been for them. 24 points in 19 minutes. They scored 51 in the game in St. Catharines. So it's not too dissimilar. Ruiz has to take it at scrum, loses the handle, plenty of time on the shot clock. No hesitation on the pull of the trigger from his teammate. Nobody looks convincing taking that shot though. Back out, Jackson Rowe. And he's actually been off it on the outside, just 1 of 8, despite the fact he's got 15 points in the game. It's 4 of 5 from 2 and 4 of 5 from the foul line. Osman Martinez trying to create some breathing room, trapped in the corner. Ruiz just saved it from going out on the baseline, and it just about worked out for Nicaragua. Put in by Frangart. And that will at least put a silver lining on an otherwise dark cloud of a half for the AmeriCup hosts. The score right before the end of the second period cuts the deficit to 16. Nicaragua 26, Canada 42. Look at the shooting numbers, 27% from 2 versus 71. That is as big a disparity as you will ever see. Nicaragua are at least doing better on the boards than they did in the first game. Struggling to move the ball well though. Canada 9 assists out the half, forcing plenty of turnovers on their hosts as well. Ruiz 11 points leads the way for Nicaragua with those 3 threes in the first half. Rojas 15 points though, the majority of which have come on the interior for Canada. It's been pretty comfortable ever since the opening 5 minutes for Canada. They trailed 10-4. And Nate Bjorkgren felt he had to take a timeout. And after that, a 16-point unanswered run. They haven't looked back since. They finish up winning the first 15-25. They've just won the second 11-17. They've got plenty of game changers. They've got plenty of options off the bench. Nicaragua have had very little, bar the outside shot of Yared Ruiz. Behind the 15 points of Jackson Rowe for Canada. They've got 4 players on 5 points. Gray, Kijami Keane, Scrub and Best each on 5. So half-time in the building that will host the AmeriCup next year. Nicaragua set to play their first major tournament, but they're thrown in at the deep end, down big against Canada.
Education, health, justice. We sometimes take these simple things for granted. They're not common for all of us. We are all born on the same planet, but not with the same opportunities.
Whatever our gender, color, belief, or capability, we are one. We are all on the same team. Let's convince those who never thought they would do it that they can. We can. Together, we are stronger. No matter your origin, basketball can bring everyone together. Basketball for good.
Herrera. Almost turned it over, got it back. Still 6 to shoot, but he heaves it from near centre court to Bastian Herrera. A rush of blood to the head.
Everyone's a little too big on the inside. Galvani gives it up. Down the lane for the throwdown. Impressed early. Taylor goes up, his block. Carrera comes from the weak side and says, not in here.
Maybe a left, relatively unguarded on the perimeter. Campasso, eyes in the back of his head. And Delia adds the exclamation mark to the highlight reel assist.
Oh boy, Vanilla again. Omar Quintero has to be disappointed with his start. And look at Solano taking off. Didn't take him long to get his first.
Making things happen. There he is. Finding the short roll, and again, that's just great basketball from Uruguay. Martin Rojas with the pass, Ceres with the finish.
Niagara Falls is just flooded here at St. Catharines.
Khalifa Young just elevating.
Oh, the cover from Campasso, the trick from Campasso, the no-look pass from Campasso, and the shot from Campasso. Bang! The one-man show.
Oh boy, oh my goodness. Ramsey. Look at that.
In the pre-game build-up, we said that backcourt for Uruguay is the elevation from Romero. Where did that come from?
That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
Welcome back to Nicaragua, half-time. Canada ahead by 16 points, 26-42, as we look at the top scorers for the respective teams, starting with Canada, 15 points for Jackson Rowe. More at half-time than he had in the whole of the first game. He's 4 of 5 on the interior, 4 of 5 at the line, but only 1 of 8 from 3. There's 15 points coming in 16 and a bit minutes. He's also got a team-high 6 rebounds. One of Canada's 3 block shots as well. For the host, Nicaragua, only really one man doing it. Jared Ruiz, 11 points in his 16 minutes. He's got the only 3 threes of the game. For Nicaragua, he's 3 of 4, and the rest of the team 0 of 6. 2 of 2 at the line as well. He has missed all 3 of his 2-point attempts, however. And Nicaragua, as a team, only shooting 27% from 2-point range. It's been tough for them, but they have been a bit better than they were on the road in Canada a few days ago. Down 16 at the half. They lost that first game by as many as 45. Canada able to score at will. 96 points in St. Catharines. So 42, not a bad outcome for Nicaragua here. But they're still a long way off it. And we'll need something special to make it competitive in the second half. Just been a bit rushed and haphazard at times from the hosts. Canada have offered some rim protection and intimidation on the interior, 3 block shots. But really, there have been a lot of unforced errors as well for Nicaragua. They're playing very much as a set of individuals, just 4 assists, 12 turnovers for the home team. Canada 9 assists with 6 turnovers. Drop in scoring for them versus the first game has been their low percentage on the perimeter. They're shooting 71% inside, but only 22% on the outside. Behind the 15 points of Jackson Rowe, they've had 4 scorers with 5 points each. Gray, Kajami, Keane, Scrub and Best. Johnny Keane, their leading facilitator, has 6 assists with just 1 turnover. Led in rebounds by Jackson Rowe, along with his 15 points, 6 boards. And 2 steals as well from Cadre Gray to lead them in that category. 3 different players with 1 rejection each. Jackson Rowe, the standout though, the 27-year-old 2'1" power forward. Let's look at that line for him. 15 points, 6 rebounds, 1 block. He'll still be disappointed with his 3-point shooting. 43% shooter in the G League this season. 4 of 9 on the outside in the first game here in AmeriCup qualifying. Just 1 of 8 tonight. It could have been a huge tally for him at halftime. 15 still. Very impressive. Jared Ruiz, the main man for Nicaragua. Aside from his 11 points, they've had 7 from Romario Ponce. Aside from that, 4 from Jensen Campbell. A couple of players on 2, that is it. Frank Gart had a team-high 14 points in the first game. He does lead them with 5 rebounds here, but he's only scored 2 points on 1 of 9 shooting. Jared Ruiz, 11 points, 4 rebounds, a couple of assists. Needs some help. He's got 4 turnovers as well. That's been a problem for Nicaragua. From the start, they were committing turnovers, allowing Canada to get out in transition. Canada had a barren couple of decades at the World Cup before they went all the way to the bronze medal last year, losing to Serbia in the semi-finals, but beating the USA in overtime for a place on the podium. Before that, they'd only finished 21st in China in 2019, not even qualified in 2014. Also didn't qualify in 2006. Now they're set to play at the Olympics for the first time in 24 years. Former Olympic silver medalists, but all the way back in 1936. The very first year that basketball was added to the schedule. Their aim will be to challenge for continental gold for the first time as well at the AmeriCup next year. This first road game of the campaign, they'll play both their games in the November window at home against Dominican Republic and Mexico. Then they travel to both of those same nations in the final window next February. Hope, if they qualify, to welcome some bigger names for the main tournament. You can see all of those games if you download the Courtside 1891 app for all the stream schedules and scores. Not just from these AmeriCup qualifiers, but the qualifiers across the globe from all of the Continental Cups. So much great action and drama in this first window. It really is fantastic to see the passion that basketball fans have for the game right across all corners of the globe. Some wonderful stories have developed. Well, we have another in the second half here. Can Nicaragua hint at a comeback? That will help. The early turnover. And the 7th turnover of the game for Canada. Ruiz. Everything going through the man with the headband. And finally one of his teammates put something through the net. Andy Perez with the score. So 14 the gap. 3-point shot. Short. Rebounding crucial here. They get it. Ruiz spins away. Ruiz draws the double. Passes on. The block though. Denying the triple. Out of bounds. Still Nicaragua possession. High energy start from the hosts. Canada now trying to match it with their defense, knowing its job not done yet. It's a stray pass again though. And the block on the corner three. Did the defense get a piece of that off the side of the backboard from Bal Haynes? He's saying it was touched. No, he's adamant. Trey Bal Haynes. That was my first inclination as well. Let's have a look if we can see a touch from the defender. Hard to see on that one replay. The officials don't see a touch, so they just call the out of bounds on the missed shot. That's a break for Nicaragua. Can they make the most of it? Saved on the baseline by Catcher. Quick thinking. Quick execution to throw it against the shins of his opponent. Still plenty of time on the shot clock, 8 seconds. Jared Ruiz. Flips it out to the near side. Ponce penetrates the paint. He's fouled by Khalif Young. So a chance at the foul line to close the gap to 12 points. Second foul on Young. And Ponce and Ruiz doing it, needs some help. And certainly can't afford to lose one of them to injury. Okay, full of focus at the line. Only 5 of 9 at the line. Canada 7 of 9. He's got 8 points now, Ponce. Ruiz has 11. Nobody else has more than 4. 13 the gap. Canada yet to score in this quarter. Scrub. Locked and loaded. Trey Bal Haynes misses. Long rebound though. Trey Bal Haynes again. Wasn't going to miss 2 in a row. That hurts Nicaragua. Heads hanging as the offensive rebound foul to Canada. They're really giving it their all to try and launch a comeback. Just like that, it's over.
No defendemos correctamente, no cogemos el rebote, triple, nos tenemos que joder entonces. Coño, en el rol, si la bola va aquí, él se queda con Andy. Te vas con este va al tirador, este está con este y yo controlo acá. Allá, atiende. Sale Jared y Frank, pero así, Andy, como si estuviéramos en box. Intercambiamos y salimos aquí, en este movimiento. Intercambian Dalton y Andy. Uno va acá, ponemos la cortina hacia este lado. Exactamente, o en este lado. Ok, vamos.
Big disparity in the bench scoring. I think we expected that. It was the same in the first game. We know that Nicaragua Nowhere near as deep as Canada. Jared Ruiz doing really well, finding Perez taking the defense away. 3 assists now for Ruiz, along with his 11 points, 5 rebounds. Trey Balhaines wide open twice in a row on the perimeter, though. And what perhaps Nicaragua fans hoped is that their starters would be bringing their very best. Only 2 of them really have. Frank Gart is 1 of 10 from the field, having led the team with 14 points in the first game. Shot clock winding down, nice bounce pass, but the shot from close proximity nowhere near. Again, Balhaines has the perimeter all to himself. Again, an offensive rebound. They're giving up too many now, Nicaragua. Wide open threes coming thick and fast as well. And they're fortunate to only be down 16. They're a man down on defense here, but Nicaragua slow to get 5 up the floor as well. Nothing doing there. Ruiz wanting a foul. He doesn't get back. Best far side, scrub for 3. Defense so tame from Jared Ruiz. And Phil Scrub knocks it down from the corner. And Canada lead by 19. It's not the first time. We've been saying it through the course of the game, that so often they've not put the effort in to run back on defense. You don't mind perhaps if some skills are lacking on the offensive end, but this first home game of qualifying, you'd expect they'd want to get as close as they can to Canada and put maximum effort in, even if their ticket to the main event is already secure for next year. It's Frank Gart down, as if his evening couldn't get any worse. He's 1 of 11 from the field for just 2 points in the game. And now he's got an injury. Three and a half minutes into the second half, 19 the lead. It was 16 at half time. They're making sure that Frank Gart gets off the court. This is Ruiz attacking. Is this where he wanted the foul? No, this is the pass for the basket for Andy Perez. Perez really perhaps should have had another shortly after as well, but missed it. Balhaines, deep 3. Canada taking plenty of 3-point attempts. They've actually taken more than twice as many 3s as they have 2s, Canada. They're not shooting them too well either. But still, they have this 19-point lead. Frank Gart carried to the bench. Does not look good for him. He was 4 of 6 from the field for 14 points the first game. 1 of 11 from the field for 2 points in this game, and now injured. Aaron Best drops it off. Fouled on his flight path was Khalif Young. With only half a second left on the shot clock as well. Andy Hodgson committing the foul. The youngest player for Nicaragua at the age of 21. He's got 4 fouls in 4.5 minutes now. Not contributed any points, just 1 rebound. Did okay in the reverse meeting. 8 points, 4 rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds in 19 minutes. Stretched the floor with a couple of 3s. Now Ponce is down hurt. Now, it looked like he might have had an injury a few minutes ago when he took those free throws and looked okay, but of course playing with the ball in your hands, moving about in open play, far different to taking a couple of free throws. There's a couple of Nicaragua players, a couple of key Nicaragua players, all going down hurt only 4 minutes into the third period. Frangart already on the bench, their top scorer from the first game. Now Ponce, their new player for this second game, and their second top scorer in it, is going off hurt. Rafael Mendoza comes in, 22-year-old point guard, who's played less than 4 minutes so far. Here is Mendoza. Shot clock down to 3. Mendoza, the swivel, the footwork, the pass back out. Good look for 3. And they say it's not away on time. Some strange stats in this game because Nicaragua have taken the majority of their attempts from 2-point range, but only shot 27%. Canada have taken the majority of their attempts from 3-point range, only shot 23%. And they're 7 of 30 from 3, 10 of 14 from 2. There's another 3. And it goes off the backboard. Well, if you shoot enough, Aaron Best, the glance off the glass, that'll do. What a way to stop his personal drought on the outside. He missed his first 5 attempts before hitting that one. His radar still not set right, but it'll make him feel a bit better. Three-pointer missed at the other end by Hodgson, and then a foul. Three fouls on Nicaragua just across the midway point of this third period. Jamie King, 24, the Canada lead. Ball movement, three-point shot, Best. Too heavy, how about the flying follow? Jackson Rowe rocks the rack, getting highlight reel high. The elevation and the exclamation from Jackson Rowe, having quite a night in Nicaragua. We hope to have a few more here next year. Let's hope we get to see that one again. It stretched the lead for Canada to 26. And taken Jackson Rowe to 17 points, 9 rebounds, 2 offensive rebounds and a block. Dalton Cacho reducing it to 24. Kennedy, nice pass from the big man, and flipped up and in by Aaron Best on his way down. They're scoring comfortably now, Canada, after a bit of a slow start to the third period. Open 3 for Nicaragua, doesn't go. Here's Kennedy again after Kijami Key. Throws it far side. Best up fake, puts it on the floor this time. Fouled and goes off the glass again. Aaron Best doing plenty of window shopping tonight. Putting himself in the shop window for a place on the roster here next year. Best now has 14 points in 15 minutes. The lead has ballooned to 29. A chance for it to go beyond 30 now. Kajami Keane running the show with 7 assists. Turns it over this time though to Ruiz. It was only his second turnover to go along with those 7 assists. A nice thread of the needle from Martinez, but it won't go down for Catcher. These fans hoping he could print a few posters ahead of the showpiece event next year. Foul on Kajami Keane, and instead they'll have to earn them the hard way from the foul line. A little push from behind. Now Canada look capable of getting towards that 45-point winning margin from the home game against Nicaragua. So 21-7 third quarter in favour of Canada. They keep on firing triples. Kevin Cadre Gray knocking down the latest. And if you shoot enough, you'll get enough points. That's the mantra on the perimeter for Canada right now, and they've been good in transition. 3-pointer off the mark for Best. Final 2 minutes of the third to play. Almost turned it over. Down on the deck, Perez, they're scrapping for it. Kennedy comes up with it. Skip through and score. Lovely moves from Jackson or Thomas Kennedy. A chance at the 3-point play. Aaron Best getting down and dirty. Scrapes and scratches on the hardwood. And Kennedy, the skip and the score. Best checks out, really good shift for him. 13 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds, a steal and a block in 17 minutes so far. Kennedy at the line, did play at the 2022 AmeriCup. Averaged 6.2 points, 3.5 rebounds and a steal in 20 minutes. He's still only 23 years of age. Really improving in Germany this season. Turnovers keep on coming for Nicaragua. Phil Scrub, one of their veterans. Palhain swings it one further. And a foul. Oh, Pandy, number 41, is a 23-year-old guard who's in. He played 4.5 minutes in this game. Nicaragua at the foul limit for the third, so Pandy at the line. Had a tough time the first game, shot just 1 of 8 from the field. Only 1 of 2 at the line there. He does have a field goal in this one tonight, so 3 points altogether. Free man underneath, trying to use the window to protect from the shot blocker. and they're able to do so. How about that block? Oh my goodness! Trying to break the glass, sending Kennedy flying beyond the baseline. A box office block from a soaring star in the Nicaragua night. And picking off the pass, Ruiz. Outlet pass down the floor. Martinez, bit of space again, and puts it in against Balhaines this time. .30 the margin. 7 seconds differential. These fans being given something to cheer. Scrub skips it out. Pandy, 3, misses. Rebound, Kennedy right back on the horse and right back to the bucket. Where he got denied aggressively a few seconds ago. That'll do it for the third. Canada in complete control. But a bit of an eruption, followed by a significant celebration for Nicaragua for putting together a few highlight reel moments. 37-69 at the end of 3. Their 2-point percentage, believe it or not, has climbed since the half. Look at how many 3-point attempts Canada are taking. 35 threes versus 22s. They won that period 11-27, Canada. We'll take a look at the best moments of it. Plenty of threes going down. Not down 9, but only at 26% accuracy. Trey Balhaines finally getting his first on his 6th attempt. Nice pass from Kennedy. Alan Best has done well. 13 points, 4 assists, a steal and a block. And 17 minutes for him. Crow's knocked down a couple of triples as well. Best fighting on defense. Kennedy skipping through and scoring on offense. Kennedy, how about the block from Cacho? The catch-up rejection. And there's that code again, if you can scan it quickly to make sure you've got the courtside 1891 app as the business picks up ahead of the next window and ultimately ahead of those Continental Cups next year. Nicaragua turn it over 5 seconds into the 4th. Scrub down the floor, Balhaines puts it in. So a tough night, Trey Balhaines. That was only his 2nd field goal on 8 attempts. 0 assists, 2 turnovers as well. Off the window, tough shot, rebound grabbed by Pandy. Canada always looking to run. Nice footwork, how about another? He's putting on a block party in Nicaragua tonight. Dalton Cacho's 4th rejection. Now Ruiz on the offensive end, lost it. Cacho not back there this time. But flicked away by one of his teammates. 3-point shot short. Rebound Best. Scrub to Balhaines. Gets the open spot for the 3 scrub. Offensive rebound Best. And saved by Martinez. Eventually protecting his backboard. Mendoza. Catch on the offensive end now is dominated on defense. Long range 2. How about the sweet stroke as well? It's his first field goal of the game. Missed his first 2 attempts. He has got 4 points from the foul line. Cacho grabs the rebound. Now Mendoza. 6 rebounds, 6 points, 4 blocks, 2 steals for Dalton Cacho. Taking plenty of shots in the second half. Yosmel Martinez misses that one. Again, they're slow to get to their spots on defense in transition. And with pinpoint precision, Aaron Best punishes. Trey Balhaines back to scrub, to Best. Another 3. He's 3 of 6 from deep now. 16 points in the game. Timeout Nicaragua. Oh, about the 4th block from Cacho, having none of the fancy footwork. Showing his ability to knock down the long 2 as well. One of the veterans on this young Nicaraguan team. So make sure I'm on that roster for the historic AmeriCup next year. Orange 2 banked in on the roll around and the fall down to the ground from Frangart. Now he's just come back in, having gone to the bench injured a while ago on a really tough night for him, where he shot just 1 of 11 from the field. He comes back in, hits that tough shot, but goes down hurt. You have to admire him wanting to come back on to carry on playing. But he's going to have to be carried off for the 2nd time in this second half. His frustration palpable. Not the way he would have dreamt this one last night. And nobody even switching on the inbound. And Jermaine Haley with the 2-handed hammer. Turnover again, picked off. Canada, the extra quality, but also the extra character. Jackson Rowe will go to the line for 2. And look to add to his already game-high 17. Haley had only just come in as well. That was his first involvement. like getting a rollicking. They've got a lot to sort out ahead of the tournament next year. They've been dominated in the first 2 games of qualifying against Canada. Many would have expected that. There's certain factors within those performances that it's understandable David Rosario is not happy about. The turnover count, certainly one of them in both games. You see in the background Frank Dart hobbling back to the locker room now. Dalton Cacho has been a defensive ace. There's lots of other players who perhaps could have given a bit more on the defensive end, particularly in transition. Canada's lead is 37. 45 was the advantage with which they won the game on game day 1 at home. Turnover again, Nicaragua, their 21st two-handed block this time from Troy Andrews, taking a leaf out of Dalton Cacho's book. Troy Andrews announces himself on the international scene. He only played 4 minutes the first game. He's only played 4 minutes tonight. Lets his opponents know he's there. And gets the rebound as well, the 23-year-old. It's a turnover every time they come down the floor now, Nicaragua. 22 in the game. We talked about them improving in that regard in the first half, after they had 27 turnovers in Canada. But they're stacking up again now. Tough attack. Pandy taking a hit. Campbell that time trying to block, commits the foul. It's hard looking around to really see where the positives are for Nicaragua. They've shot lower percentages from 2 and 3 than the game in Canada. The turnover count is getting up towards where it was there. A goaltend called on this one, but you have to admire the athleticism of Troy Andrews. I suppose he reminds me where the positive is, because they have challenged shots well around the rim. This big two-handed block following the 4 of Dalton Cacho. Mario Ponce's had a rejection as well. And a free path through the paint for Pandy. Puts it in. Canada now have doubled the tally in scoring of Nicaragua, 41-82, midway point of the fourth. Cacho brings it back, wants the turnaround triple. Trap in the corner. Young ensuring there's no way out, but commits the foul. We thought it might be better for Nicaragua on the perimeter after they went just 6 of 23 for 26% in Canada. They hit 2 threes very early on here. They were 2 of 3. Ruiz hit 3 in the first half. He was 3 of 3. They're now 3 of 17 as a team. They've shot just 18%. They've hit half as many as they did in Canada. And a long string of misses. And they're close to falling behind by an even larger deficit than they ever faced in St. Catharines. And Jensen Campbell has picked up his 5th personal foul now, so he's out for the rest of the game. He had 6 points on 3 of 4 shooting, 3 rebounds, also 2 turnovers. Air ball of a foul shot from Haley. Four and a half to play, 41 the margin. Hodgson. Pout. Stumble from Herrera, back to Pout. Bench players in for Nicaragua now. Side skip, 3-point shot. Rebound ripped down. That rather sums it up. A stumble, a turnover, kick back into Canadian possession. The aim for Canada will be to go all the way at the AmeriCup. Bjorgren on the bench. There's that NBA experience. There'll be lots more NBA talent, you have to imagine, on the roster at the main event next year. Bjorgren has not just won the NBA championship as an assistant with the Raptors, he's also spent the 2020-21 season as head coach of the Indiana Pacers. Sitting comfortably now. Professional evening's work done. Andrews, nice pass as well, and flipped up and in on the finish from Juan Herrera. Kind of like the pass from Troy Andrews. Had that big two-handed block, so he's done well since coming in. Shot from right. 3-point shot and the rebound Pout. Bench players playing for their place now for Nicaragua. Herrera, here he is again. Andrews lost it this time though. Skipping away from one, stumbles into a second, turn back over. You have to admire the hustle. The two sets of players fighting over the possession despite this 41-point margin. On a day that's seen Cuba beat the USA, Chile down Argentina. No upsets here in Nicaragua. On the coaching ladder since leaving college to coach in high school in the late 90s, Nate Bjorkgren moved to the D-League in 2007, the NBA in 2015. Initially an assistant with the Phoenix Suns. And 3 seasons ago, that first head coach role with the Pacers before returning to Toronto for another 2 years as an assistant. Mendoza. Pounce back to Mendoza. It's been lively since coming in. He knocks down the 3. 22-year-old point guard who missed all 3 of his shots in Canada. And got 13.5 minutes in that game. Kachami Keane with the overhead turnover. Final 2 minutes. Fighting to keep it below the margin it was in St. Catherine's. 40 the margin here, up fake, move on to the inside. Some nice moves from some of the bench players. Shot clock down to 3 though. Saved far sideline by Young. Gray. And slow it down. How many turnovers now? 25 for Nicaragua. Gray for 3. The stop and the pop, not the drop. Kachami Keane. They put the exclamation mark on the win. Some Jermaine Haley hang time. Quick release 3. They're just not going down. For Nicaragua, 4 of 21, 19%. Canada not much better at 24% from 3, but they've hit 10 of them. They've taken 41 attempts on the perimeter versus 29 attempts from 2-point range. That time the alley-oop not converted by Young. Just going to stop. Let the clock expire. Won't even be able to do that. Strange decision. The shot clock's going to expire, the game clock won't. And they're going to say that's that. Nicaragua have had enough. And Canada with 2 40-plus point wins over the 2025 AmeriCup hosts in this first window. This one finishes 46-88 in favour of Nate Bjorkgren's team. Started with a little bit of promise for Nicaragua. A 6-point lead early on, that quickly evaporated on a 16-point unanswered run on a Canada timeout at the midway point of the first period. And from there, the advantage only grew and grew. ...21 assists with 10 turnovers for Canada. Only 13 assists with 26 turnovers for Nicaragua. Ruiz led the way for the hosts with 11 points, but they all came in the first half. Nobody else in double figures. Only 2 scorers in double figures for Canada. Jackson Rowe led the way with 19 points, had 10 rebounds to complete the double-double. In the end, 3 offensive rebounds, 2 steals and a block. Aaron Best had 16 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal and a block. The 2 standout players. They had as many as 7 players, though, finish with a double digits in efficiency. Some big defensive plays in that 4th quarter for Nicaragua in particular. Dalton Cacho with 4 superb rejections through the course of the game. And there's another one from Troy Andrews coming in off the bench as well. Some of the highlights on defense for Nicaragua. There weren't many highlights on offense. And that was the final highlight for Canada. Jermaine Haley completing the alley-oop off the pass from Kajami Keane. And that took Keane to 10 assists with just 2 turnovers to lead the way creatively for Canada. Mexico, Dominican Republic still to finish. Nicaragua fall to 0-2. Canada rise to 2-0. As we finish, we'll get set to finish the first of 3 windows in this qualifying campaign. From me, Tim Long, it's been an absolute pleasure to have your company for all of these qualifiers. I'll see you next time for the next set of games in November.